Well, there has been still another alleged embezzlement case in the Eastern Sierra and another one at the Tri-County Fairgrounds in Bishop, this time focusing on former fair manager Sally Simons. Now, according to a press release from the California Highway Patrol, in July of this year, the CHP Inland Division Investigative Services Unit initiated an investigation into the possible embezzlement of funds from the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fairgrounds. The press release notes that during the extensive investigation, California Highway Patrol investigators determined Bishop area resident Sally Ann Simons, age 46, embezzled funds belonging to the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair. Last week on Wednesday, October 21st, Sally Simons was detained and transported to the Bishop area CHP office for questioning. Press release notes that the CHP report containing the embezzlement and other various charges will be submitted to the Inyo County District Attorney's Office for review. Now, back in 2013, the CHP investigated a similar embezzlement case involving the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fairgrounds and employee Rebecca Bragdon. The press release says the investigations are unrelated. Now, after Sierra Wave posted this story on our website, sierrawave.net, Tri-County Fair Board President Paul Dosty offered this comment in response to another comment. Dosty wrote, quote, "As soon as the board learned that money was missing in July, the governor's office was advised, the head of fairs and expositions was advised, and CHP Captain Noyes was contacted, and an investigation was requested. The investigators responded quickly and conducted a very professional and complete investigation over several months." Dosty continued, "The board consists of your fellow citizens who volunteer their time and meet once a month to make the fair an important part of the community. The board does not supervise the day-to-day operations of the fair, and there has to be some level of trust in the CEO," end quote. And again, that was from Paul Dosty, who also noted that there are 4 openings on the fair board and people can consider applying to the governor's office to be appointed as a board member so you can contribute to your community. Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. Mammoth Lake's multi-use facility, also known as the ice rink, got the green light at last Wednesday night's Mammoth Lakes Town Council meeting by a 3-2 vote. The rink and community center project now head into the design and environmental analysis phase. After an hour of public comments weighted heavily against the Mammoth Creek Park West site, not the concept, council members split not on the site, but the cost. Mammoth Town Council members John Wentworth and Shields Richardson both argued the funds and time may be better spent, quote, acquiring additional lands, end quote, for the town. "We live in a constrained landmass," said Wentworth. Now, Mammoth Mayor Michael Raimondo seemed to teeter. "We don't have any money. It's that simple," he said. "For the last 4 years, all we've done is cut." But Michael Raimondo expressed his approval of the $2 million project, just asking that the $150,000 cost of the environmental documents and design not come out of the Public Works budget, sending council members into a discussion of funding sources. The conclusion: monies could be used from Measure R or the town's Melrose Community Facilities District accounts. Now, a pall of sorts fell over the council discussion when the cost of defending the town against potential lawsuits was brought up. That estimate, $100,000. Bill Raff, Homeowners Association president at La Vista Blanc, a condo complex that abuts the park, started the lawsuit discussion. Now, referring to a 1999 environmental impact report on an earlier rink/community center project at Mammoth Creek Park West, Raff noted, quote, "A lot of major mitigation required. If we're not satisfied," he said, "we'll do what we have to mitigate the lighting, the noise, the parking," end quote. Now, the pro and con arguments have all been aired before. Those against cited the lighting, noise, parking problems, strongly suggesting relocation of Mammoth Creek Park East. That's owned by the U.S. Forest Service, or an industrial commercial area as recommended by RAF. Robin Bell suggested the project was like jamming a square peg in a round hole. The rink was also compared to a Walmart. Sharon Clark warned the council to slow down on the project. Now, on the pro side, Tom Johnson, a project task force member, admitted he was skeptical at the outset, but after going through the site review process, there was no close second, he said. Another task force member said the Mammoth Creek Park West site identified as an active use park from the beginning. Now, said Jay Cole, South Lake Tahoe operates an ice rink successfully with 71% of its revenues made during 8% of its operating hours, including hosting tournaments. Now, during the Mammoth Lakes Town Council discussion, Colin Fernie stressed the importance of improving the town's amenities, driving more visitation, and providing a better resort experience. Mammoth Town Manager Dan Holler and Public Works Director Grady Dunton both said the town would continue to engage the community in the design phase, and we thank Deb Murphy for that story. Well, last Thursday at approximately 1 a.m., the Inyo County Sheriff's Office received a report that Darryl Maddox Jr., a 20-year-old resident of Bishop, was intoxicated and behaving erratically, according to a press release. When Inyo County Sheriff's deputies responded to the location where Maddox was reported to be, Maddox attempted to flee on foot. Deputies were able to detain Maddox. However, Maddox was uncooperative, the press release notes, refused a field sobriety test, and was ultimately taken into custody for resisting and obstructing. Now, while en route to the Inyo County Jail in Independence, Maddox began kicking the patrol vehicle, ultimately damaging the inside of the door, the press release notes. Darryl Maddox Jr. was booked for obstruction and vandalism. Now, that morning, after being detained in a sobering cell, Maddox was released with a notice to appear. Shortly after 10 a.m. Thursday, the Inyo County Sheriff's Office received notification that Maddox had assaulted an elderly man outside of Carroll's Market in Big Pine. The victim reportedly picked Maddox up as a hitchhiker directly north of Independence. Maddox asked to be dropped off in Big Pine, and the press release notes that once the vehicle stopped, the victim reported that Maddox punched him in the face and then stole his wallet and phone. Two California Highway Patrol officers located Maddox on the east side of Big Pine. Maddox, press release notes, got into a physical altercation with the officers, striking one of the CHP officers, which prompted the deployment of a taser. CHP then arrested Maddox, but transferred custody to Inyo County Sheriff's Office for booking. Maddox was booked into the Inyo County Jail under charges including felony robbery, felony cruelty to an elder, obstruction, resisting arrest, and battery on a peace officer. His bail was set at $100,000. And last week, Inyo County Sheriff's Deputy Jared Sparks was sworn in as corporal by Inyo County Sheriff Bill Lutz. Sparks began working for the Inyo County Sheriff's Office in 2013 as a deputy. In addition to working patrol, he has been a field training officer and an instructor for CPR and first aid. Now, prior to his work with the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, Sparks worked for Kern County Sheriff's for 5 years and the Ridgecrest Police Department for 3 years. Earlier this year, Sparks was nominated and presented with the Eastern Sierra Peace Officer Association's Law Enforcement Professional of the Year Award for his outstanding life-saving measures on an attempted suicide. Nicely done there, Mr. Sparks. We'll be back with more news.